Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you in whatever time zone in the world that you may be listening to this podcast right now. So, whether you are taking a break after a long day, or you're getting ready for work, or you're probably just scrolling through your phone, I want to say welcome to yet another episode. So, yes, how you guys doing? I hope you're good. I hope you're fine. And yes, I hope you are trusting in the fatherhood of God. That is more important. It's easy to be caught up in the web of activities. It's easy to be not necessarily easy, but life can be so busy that we do not have time for ourselves, and sometimes due to anxiety we do not trust the fatherhood of God. So yeah, I'm asking again, how you guys doing? And please allow God to be your father. Right? I know you know him as a father, but can you please allow him perform his duties as your father? So yes, guys, welcome to yet another episode. So if you probably caught up on last week's episode, you realized that we started a topic on friends, or let me say friendship. We started a topic on friendship, and one of the things that I shared was that we having friends is we open ourselves up to influence, right? We talked about how friends influence the decision we make. So in other words, the friends we keep are either pushing us up to greatness or they are limiting us, and all of this is happening without we realizing it. So having friends is opening ourselves up to influence. So whether we admit it or not, whether we recognize it or not, having friends is just saying, yeah, my heart is open for this person to influence me. Okay, so the influence is holistic, if you probably want me to say it that way. And we talk about how friendship shape the way we think, how they shape decisions we make. Okay, so if you're probably just joining in, I would advise you go back and listen to it, and of course it's going to be a contribution of value to you. So yeah, let's take it a bit deeper in this episode. Let's talk about defining friendship. That's what this episode is going to be all about. Okay, so understanding that not everyone that you meet should be called your friend instantly. And we'll look at the greatest example of all, which is Jesus Christ, the model of friendship he displayed during the part of scriptures. So I want us to stay put, because we would learn by God's grace, and we will learn one of the things that I'll be sharing is the role of friendship in shaping our lives, right? The role friends play in our life, and we would look at Jesus' model and how we can in a way learn from it so as to structure our own relationships. So just as I've stated, we may not really admit it, probably because we've not really thought about it in that line, right? So but in our journey of life, or you would have realized that at some point you've met people and you are still meeting people, that two things happen: either they lighten you up, either they keep you refreshed, or sometimes you feel drained after having a conversation with them. Okay, that is, at some point any one of us must have met with those people, and we'll keep meeting with them as long as we progress in our life journey. So let's kick off. with a question. What role does friendship play in shaping your life? What role does it play in shaping my life? Okay, so it's important to state that friendship is one of the greatest influence in our lives. So whether you choose to acknowledge it or not, your friends shape the way you think, they shape your perspective, they influence your decision, they shape and rearrange, as the case may be, your priorities. So the people you spend time with, okay, and play a big role in the person you are becoming. That is the very truth. The person you are evolving to be, if the friends you keep play a big role in you becoming that person. Okay, now, so what are the roles they play? Let's make it more practical. Number one, the friends you keep, the friends I keep, have a way of shaping our value system. They have a way of impacting our ideologies. Okay, they influence what we consider right, they influence what we consider wrong, they influence what we consider important, and they influence what we consider very trivial. So if we hang around people that are always prioritizing hard work, they're always prioritizing excellence, they're always prioritizing integrity, they're always prioritizing the right values, they're always prioritizing kindness, chances are high that very soon, if you do not prioritize them, you will begin to. Why? Because they are influencing you. They are much more of an influence, right? So if they are a very good person, you consider integrity, you consider kindness, you consider honesty, right? And you begin to roll with people who normalize laziness, who normalize dishonesty, who love gossiping. It will get to a point, if you do not cut them off, you will find yourself justifying their behavior, and to come to a point in time in your life unconsciously that you begin to display this attitude. You just wouldn't know when you start telling a lie. You still have people that lie a lot and you feel it's normal, you start creating excuses for them. It will get to a point it's not something that you would think through. You just tell the lie so easily. Like, when did this one happen? When did this one start? That is because the people you spend time with influence your life. Like, you are open like a gateway for them to just have an influence. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is your values will either be reinforced or compromised by the people you call friends, by the people that hang around you, or the people that you're hanging around with. They impact your value system. So the number 2 role they play, okay, taking it a step further, is they influence the decision you make. Over time, since we began this podcast, we'll be looking at decision making and timing. And last week I spoke, just reiterating, and spoke about how friends influence your decision making, right? So think about it. Before making a big decision, or before making certain decision, whether they are big or small, who do you call first? Okay, let's say it could be your friend, it could be your sister, it could be your mom, it could be your dad. Fine. But it comes to a point in time that as you begin to grow, you begin to have your own clique, you begin to have your own person, your own person. So whether it is a career advice, or it's relationship advice, or advice that is regarding your finance, their perspective, maybe due to experiences, affect your choices. Think about it, right? There are times that you made certain decision because of the person you call a friend. They say, okay, Baba, do it like this. Do try this, don't try that. So it's important that you surround yourself with people who make wise decision, because their counsel, whatever counsel they are giving to you, can either make or mar you. It's shaping you. So the Bible was speaking, and it says, when you walk with the wise, you become wise, and a companion of fool will suffer loss. Right? when you walk with the wise, it just will become wise. It's like a normal phenomenon. It's not something that is negotiable. Yeah, with time, just give yourself time. You're going to become wise. If you're working with fools, give yourself time. You start acting like them, start talking like them. If you're working with people that the only thing they know is sarcasm, they don't take life seriously, and you enjoy being around them, you spend most of your time with them, it will come to a point in time that it will rub off on you. It will rub off on you. Now, let us now look at it again from another angle. Do you realize that the friends you keep affect your mental and emotional health? And this is even backed up by science. I'm telling you, this is really, really a very important conversation. Like a Harvard study found that having strong friendship, or having strong friends rather, reduces stress, it improves your mental health, and even increases life expectancy. And if you decide to flip the switch, let's say toxic friendship, they do right the opposite. Instead of reducing your stress, you become more stressed. Instead of being comfortable around them, you become more anxious. So have you ever noticed that whenever you are around someone or a group of people that you become friends, or a group of people that you are rolling with, they are draining you emotionally? That is a sign that these people are not for you. They are not meant to be around you. Okay, the right friends will fill your emotional tank and not just drain it. I'm sure all of these things that I'm saying to this point, each and every one of us can relate. And thinking about it again, the friends you keep, the friends I keep, influence our productivity. So if you have friends that are comfortable with doing work anyhow, like you are always rolling with people that you guys are even involved in the same work, but they are always doing things anyhow. They do not appreciate excellence. They do not appreciate giving in their best. They do not have the mantra of whatever is what's doing is what's doing well, but they are comfortable mediocrity. It will get to a point you also will begin to appreciate mediocrity, right? And what I'm trying to say is, when you have friends that are driven, okay, they will push you up and they will level you up. If you spend time with people that are always making excuses, it's better you just move back, right? Because you are most likely to do so. If your friends are ambitious, think about it. If your friends are disciplined, your friends are goal-oriented, you of course will become disciplined. You of course will become goal-oriented. And if you are a student, if you are spending time with those that are high flyers, trust me, it's like common knowledge. Before you know, not too long, it will have an impact on your academics. Your CGPA is skyrocketing. When intelligent people spend time together, or when somebody who is not similarly intelligent spend time with intelligent people, he works with them, read with them, the person GPA will be carrying, what is the word? The person GPA will be gymming, like you now begin to have strength and muscle. That is just to justify the scriptures that say iron sharpens iron. The friends you keep either sharpens you or they blow you. Alright, they inspire you to push harder, and they determine what you would achieve, whether academically, whether in the secular space, whatever field you may find yourself, whatever sphere of influence in this life, who you surround yourself with will determine what you would achieve, what you are going to achieve in this life. Okay, and yes, yet another example is that friends play a role in your spiritual growth. Many a times, if we look back to our journey, as maybe many of us that are done with school, or probably done with school or whatnot, you realize that the people that we met at some point in time encouraged us in our spiritual faith, in our faith in God, right? That would have made us feel or become very serious, not feel, to become very serious with God. These people, right? If you look at it very well, they are our friends. At some point, we may not necessarily be close to them right now, and that's just to tell us that there are people that are in our lives for a particular season. Before we were so close, before you guys were so close, before you guys do things together, they play a very major part in your life, but right now they are not there. And when you look back, you are thankful for the times that you guys were together, because they played a pivotal role in shaping or making you who you are right now, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Now, looking at it from the spiritual aspect, looking at it from spiritual growth, do your friends encourage you to take your faith seriously? Do they encourage you to be, in quote, too serious with God? So real friends, people that you call friends, should be able to push you closer to God and not push you far away from Him, right? They shouldn't push you far away from Him. Looking at the scripture, and I think it's NIV version that says bad company corrupts good character, right? If you have to look at it, the popular statement that says, be not deceived, evil communication corrupts good manners. Now, how do you receive evil communication? Of course, it's by people that you surround yourself with. That is how you receive evil communication. But in essence, what am I trying to say? Right? This is it. Your faith will either be weakened or it is thriving, depending on the people you surround yourself with, depending on the people you choose to roll with, depending on the people you choose to spend your time with. Those are the people that would make you have either a strong footing or weaken you. I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. Through their communication, whether positive or negative, whether good or evil, they are either making you thrive or they are making you feel less or weak each passing day. Now, the last example I want to give is that your friends determine the quality of your relationship. Your friendship shape how you view life in general. Your friendship shapes how you view relationships in general. If your friends are the kind of people that are normalizing cheating, from periods in a relationship, be it in exam, and you're always making excuses for them, it's not that bad. If your friends normalize disrespect, they normalize unhealthy communication, you may begin to accept this behavior in your personal relationship unconsciously. Friends influence the kind of standard you have in a relationship. Unconsciously, they are influencing you, and unconsciously, you are receiving, in quotes, their mentorship. I don't even know if that statement is correct, but that is just what it is. Because I feel that is the best way I could explain what I'm saying. When it comes to mentorship, you are indirectly, sometimes it could be directly, right? If that is direct or indirectly, depending on the proximity you are with this person. Like, you are being influenced, you are being modeled, right? That's the way you are using a clay to, that's the way the potter is molding the clay. In that same way, your friends are molding you. They are influencing your decision. They are influencing your standard in life. They are influencing everything that has to do with you. So now, taking a look at Jesus' model of friendship, that is understanding the circles, you'd you would realize that Jesus had different levels of friendship and each serve a purpose. Or I would say Jesus had different levels of relationship. Now let me break it down practically. And this in a way would we can get wisdom from this. And what is that? The that is the crowd. And which post that many of us might call acquaintance. That is everyone you interact with, everyone you come in contact with, right? And you may see them every day, but they're not necessarily your friend. You guys may even exchange pleasantries, but of course, they're not necessarily your friend. Now, Jesus was friendly, he welcomed and loved everyone, right? He healed, he taught, he encouraged a multitude, and it is important to note that being friendly is part of the Christian culture. Okay, this is part of the friendly Christian culture. We must be friendly, yeah, but this is the thing. Jesus never allowed everyone into his space. Now, not everyone had access to his personal space. So, what I'm trying to say in a sense is being friendly doesn't mean you should not establish boundaries. Okay, being kind doesn't necessarily mean you should not establish boundaries. And when it comes to life, it's important that we are not naive. Okay, because some people that as begin to relate to them, as begin to call them friends, they drain you because you are always the one point to them. Others they bring temptation, whether it is your opposite sex friendship, whether it has to do with emotional attachment, like all of these stuff begins to develop unknowingly. And Jesus knew where to draw the line. So it is important for you to know where to draw the line. Okay, being kind doesn't mean you should not establish boundaries. You should not let people know that you have boundaries, because people would obviously at some point in time take advantage of your kindness, take advantage of access to you. So it's important that you know who you give access to. Now let us break it down. Let's be much more practical. Like I've said, do you realize that there was something called the 70, the 12, the 3, and yet 1 when it came to Jesus? Now the 70, those I'm now making it like in our lives, for example. When it comes to the 70, it means those you are close to, but you're not deeply connected with. Jesus had 70 disciples he sent out to preach. Okay, they were part of his mission, but they didn't really have full access to him. These are the friends, in a way, I would say these are the friends you vibe with, but you don't necessarily tell them every step of your life. You guys roll, you guys relate well, you guys exchange pleasantry, you guys talk once in a while. Okay, you can even say, they're my friend, but they don't know everything about you. And those people are just there for a specific season, there for a specific assignment, and you don't necessarily but they don't necessarily know your secrets. And as regards be there for a specific season, you could, let's take for example, you are a student and there are people that you relate with, they are maybe your classmates, your classmates, as the case may be, that you'd relate with. You guys are always vibing, you guys are always playing, you guys are always laughing, you guys are there together, probably doing assignments in quotes. Oh, you come to class, oh guy alpha, what have you done? Stuff like that. They are there for a specific season, but they do not know anything about you aside the fact that they are your classmates or you are their classmates. Okay, now we will not leave the 70 and come to 12. That's kind of people are referred to as your inner circle. Okay, Jesus had 12 disciples. They were his closest friends. He ate with them, he traveled with them, he shared deep teachings with them. When he gives the crowd parables, he comes and he breaks it down for them, explaining to them much more that they would understand. And these are the friends that I would say are that there are people that you let into your personal life. These are people that have access into you. They have access in quotes to your privacy. They are not necessarily too private when you are with them. You are free. Of course, you are free with other people, but now these people know you. see you for who you are. They're even seeing your flaws, right? Seeing your strengths, seeing your weaknesses. And they are kind of people that you can say in a way they are loyal. So, but here is the warning that not all close friends are loyal. Judas was one of the 12, yet he betrayed Jesus. Not everyone close to you is meant to stay. We need to get that right. That's why you have to be discerning. Not everyone that you call friends will be with you for a long time. Not everyone that you call friends are meant to stay with you for a long time. You just have to discern. You just have to discern. Now, when you now leave the 12 and come back to the 3, now these are the people I would refer to as your most trusted friends. Okay, now among the 12, we had Peter, we had John, and we had James. Now, these were the one that Jesus took to a significant moment. Examples are his vulnerable moment, as the case may be. Now, like the Gethsemane and the part of the Transfiguration. Now, these are the friends that witnessed all of this stuff. They saw it. Like, these are people that you refer to as the most, like the people that they were very close to the heart of Jesus. Now, what does that mean? How does that even relate to our lives? When it comes to you and I, there are people that are separated from the crowd. That was separated from the crowd. They are almost like the most trusted friends. They are your most trusted friends. These are people that see you for who you are, know you for who you are, much more than the exact 12 that were close to you. I'm sure you get what I'm saying. And you now break it down much more deeper. You have one, and that's the one, of course, we know is John. And John was like, the disciple whom Jesus loved. That was more or less like a deeper level of relationship. And that is the one I would say that everyone should have, is the one I would call the friend that stick closer than a brother. That's one friend who understands you, who supports you, who is there for you, who helps you. That's one that stick, irrespective of the season in your life, irrespective of what you are going through, they are there to give you emotional support, they are there to give you mental support, they are there to give you spiritual support, they are there in all season. They are there for you in all season, in the good and in the bad. These examples that I've given are the model of friendship that Jesus has given to us. The pattern of friendship that we can see, that we can observe. They were the 70, like what you call acquaintances. Then they were the 12. They take it much more deeper. They were 3. Then a little bit 1. They most obviously someone that stick closer than a brother. So I'm sure each and every one of us have probably learned something. And of course, this topic is what's sharing. But on a final thought, okay, it is important that I share with us. And what I want to say is, your circle, the circle you keep, is your future. Jesus loved everyone, but he didn't give everyone access. You should be kind to everybody, but that does not mean everyone should have access to you. You have to establish boundaries. You play, you laugh, yes, but you just have to establish boundaries. Your friends shape your future. The people you surround yourself with shape your life. The people you are giving access to your life influence you. So ask yourself, does this person belong in my life? Sometimes you also need to ask yourself another question: who belongs to those that should just remain in the 70? Who belongs to those that should be among the 12? Who belongs to those that should be among the 3? And who belongs to those that should be that one person? And of course, it is time that will prove. It's not something that you would answer off the spot. It is time, with time, and time will prove. Time is a revealer of all things. Time is a revealer of intentions. Time is a revealer of purposes. Time is a revealer of intent. Okay, if someone is deceptive, time would reveal. If someone is loyal, time would reveal. Okay, of course, there are people that are faking one or two things. So you just have to be discerning. Okay, I'm sure by God's grace you've learned one or two things from this episode, and thank you. Yep, I want to say thank you for staying to the end. Thank you for listening to this very episode. So whether you're listening from Nigeria or whatever part of the world that you may be listening to this podcast, I'm saying thank you for tuning in. I do not take it for granted. I am appreciative. And by God's grace, I'll be listening on that one next week. Okay, so thanks for hanging out with me. So until next time, choose your friends wisely, live life purposefully and intentionally, protect your space, protect your peace, and you see your life skyrocketing. So until next episode, bye bye.